Good afternoon, everyone. Oh, Farmer Pierce is back, everybody. And most of you who followed me before, are probably going, "Whatever happened to Farmer Pierce? He just disappeared off the face of YouTube." But I'm not going to get into much of a detailed, lengthy discussion regarding kind of the reason why um, Farmer Pierce fell off the face of YouTube. I will say that I wasn't happy with my quality of content that I was putting out there to my viewers. Um, but today is the relaunch of the channel. Um, we are going to strive for 100% quality content. It's a new year, new channel. When I was doing this before, I was relatively new. I didn't have audio or anything in my first videos. Uh, my first video actually was Lone Oak Farm episode 1 on FS17. Um, but I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot from watching some really great YouTubers, Mr. SealyP, DJGoHam, and the GoHam fam. I'm really happy to be part of that group. Golfcart Jockey, Farmer Minn, Lunatic Calm. Who else? Who else have I been watching and learning a lot from? Tiny 426. He does awesome live streams. Golfcart Jockey, Farmer Minn, Clutch Simulations. He's a good friend of mine. You know, everybody that I've met since doing YouTube have been really receptive. They've helped me out, answered questions, gave me advice, and I greatly appreciate the YouTube community. But getting straight into this video, excuse me. Let's look at the map. As you can see, we're on Felsbrunn, and I have a save game on this map also. Since the new landscaping tool has come out, I've flattened this whole area out in Field 11, and that's now my animal pens, and this is my farm right here. I was doing bales. I was doing straw bales. Normally I don't do bales. I cannot stand doing bales. The kind of, when we got the forage and chip silo mod there in FS17, I basically quit doing bales. I mean, 500,000 liters of hay, grass, straw, silage. Psh, who needed bales? Yeah, I could sit there and do loose hay and straw and silage with the appropriate hay loft and bunker. But I decided, I'll try bales this time. So I started harvesting this field east and west, the short way. Crossways. I'm thinking crossword puzzles. Sorry. Anyway, a thought stirred in my head. I thought, would I get more yield if I went? Would I get more bales if I went lengthwise? So that's when the thought started to stir in my head that what kind of different factors and variables might affect your bale count. So that's what this video is about. It's going to be mostly an explanation going over data that I have collected from different. I did 7 different tests. One test that I did not do, and I should have done it, and I know somebody's going to leave it in the comments that I should have, is I did not do a test where I had mature weeds in my field. So let's go over here. All right, so like I said, I had 7 tests, and most of you are probably going, wait a minute, there's only 5 piles here. Well, test 1 and 2 piles had to be sold. Once I hit test 5, hit my bale limit. So I was like, all right. So those have been sold. But a screenshot, which I'll put that up shortly, shows test 1, test 2, 4, and 5. 6 and 7 resistant at that time because the test really completed. So we'll put that screenshot up now. Okay. All right. Now test 1, when I loaded up the game, I went and bought field 21 outright, straight off the bat. I went over, looked at the field information. It was fertilized at 50%. It was not plowed. I had weeds turned off. And it was in its 2nd harvest state. So I started out doing a north-south harvest. We ended up with 35 bales. Yield was 33,948 liters. Test 2, I refertilized to 50%. I did not plow. Field information said it needed lime at this point. I did not put that down. Bales, we collected 31. Our yield was about 20, I'm going to roughly say about 2,300 less than test number 1. We had a total of 30,765 liters. And that was an east to west harvest. And it was on its 3rd harvest state. And throughout the rest of the testing, I continued with the 3rd harvest state. So for test number 3, refertilized to 50%. Still did not plow. I put lime down. We got 35 bales. Our yield was 33,968, which is 20 liters higher than test number 1. And this was an east to west harvest also. Test number 4 was 0% fertilization. It was cultivated. We didn't put any extra lime down because it was already in the ground from test 3. We got 29 bales. Yield was substantially lower, 28,643 liters. It was a north-south harvest, and it was not plowed. Test number 5, 0% fertilization. It was cultivated, still not plowed. We still had lime in the ground from test 3. We got 29 bales, but the yield, for some odd reason, was 20 liters higher at 28,663. That was an east to west harvest. Now, test number 6 One of my buddies, you know who you are. He's one of my best friends. Helped me out with this because this test would have gone 6, 7 hours longer than anticipated. Um, we limed the field, we cultivated it, we plowed it, put the fertilizer state to 100%. We got 43 bales off of it. Our yield was 42,430 liters, and this was an east to west harvest. And test number 7 was just the opposite, north south harvest, 100% fertilized, limed, cultivated, and plowed. We got 43 bales, but the yield was 277 liters less than the previous one, for a total of 42,153 liters. So basically, based on my findings and information and stuff, if you take the time to fully condition your fields, 100% fertilizer, put the lime down, cultivate. You may not have to cultivate. Considering the reason I say that is did not we did not cultivate in test number 3, and we still got 35 bales. So I'm not sure if in the last 2 tests cultivating actually boosted the ground or not, but I'm going to say that the 100% fertilization plus the plowing and maybe the lime had something to do with it. So if you're a baler and you like to sell bales, either hay or straw, or silage, because if you fertilize you plow, and fertilize your grass fields. I'm not sure if you can put lime on them or not. I haven't tested that out. Maybe somebody else has. If you have, leave a comment in the comment section and stuff like that. But if you're gonna do bales and you want the best yield, condition your fields to 100%. Just take the extra time and do it. Now, if I would have done this loose, I would have definitely gotten more. There's remnant straw in the forage wagon over there. It's what was left on the field during each test that I wasn't able to put into a full bale. But some of the equipment that we used, I'm not going to get too close to it because the stream destabilizes for some odd reason if I move around too much. We've got the Ideal 9T with the power flow header. We have the new Lime Station that came out in the Mod Hub here recently. Saved me a lot of trips to the store and going into town to fill up the fertilizer spreader with lime. We ended up with just a little over 240,000 liters of grain. So I had to put the extra silo extension in. We have the John Deere 7R 7310. The Amazon Condor, the Gold Vultra, exclusively for Xbox, but I would rather have the New Holland Blue Power. That might come to Xbox someday. And attached to that is the Kuhn Axis fertilizer spreader. We have the Big Bud 747. Attached to that is the Gregory Bison trailed lifter along with its corresponding plow. That was part of the big bud pack in 2017. We have the Fendt 943 Vario tracked version with the Lemkin Gignet 12 cultivator attached to the back. We have the Ursus T127 bale loader, round bale loader. The Breedall, I can never get that right. Fertilizer spreader with the 6-meter extension bar on the back. And the Roll Belt 150. Now, keeping with the consistency for this test, I went with this one because that's what I started out with on my save map. Then we have the Stroutman. Correct. Anybody can correct me if I'm wrong on this. I call it a forage wagon. But of course, in the store, it's called a loading wagon. But then we have the Joskin Drakkar 8600. I felt that with the last 2 tests being at 100% fertilization, that if I went with the Joskin Transpace 8000, which is 31,000 liters, I would be making multiple trips to and from the field to the silo to keep the harvester empty. So I just went with this one right here, just to try to save me a little bit of time. But this is the end of the video. If you liked it, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. So I hope you enjoyed this, as I have making it. And it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Y'all have a great and wonderful day.
Renderforest.com